Hello, everybody. Meteorologist Hutch Johnson joining you on this Wednesday night live update now on what's going on with our storm threat for Thursday. Different models, different solutions. We'll talk about it right here. Bring your questions and bring your interest. I have weather updates for you coming up right now. But first, my friends at Robert Gibb & Sons deal with not only the best technicians, they've been servicing the area for over 110 years, but they also have the best equipment, Bryant heating and cooling systems, whatever it takes. And they have a guaranteed warranty, 10-year on the parts, 3 years on the labor. Call Robert Gibb & Sons. Please let them know that Hutch sent you. Now let's chat about this weather, shall we? We do have some weather interests to talk about as we go through. First, let's talk about the colors on this as we go through what you need to know. The red stuff up here, that's visibility. And boy, we've had some very dense fog across the area the last few nights, so much so that you have shared some awesome photos of that. Check this out across the region today. Just absolutely stunning view here. This was in the Fargo-Moorhead area. 30 feet visibility reported by Bill here in the Fargo area as that fog settled into the region. And check this out. What's that? Wow. Check it out, Julia, capturing this dewy dandelion of delight in Detroit Lakes, Minnesota. What a gorgeous scene and setting there. That's not frost, but you can actually see the little water drips there. Another photo of some fog this morning across the region. 300 feet visibility in this shot by Bill. And look at this from the distance in New York Mills. Thanks so very much, Carol, for sharing this very scenic view. Look at the old feeders out there and the beautiful scenery. I believe those to be hydrangeas, folks. And they're doing their best hydrangeaing, as you can imagine, out across the area. Deborah, thank you for sharing stars on Hutch's Weather. I do appreciate you as well. If you want to upload photos at hutchesweather.com, head on over there anytime, anywhere. Grab a photo with your cellular device and you can upload it right on my website. Thank you so very, very much for sticking with me. G Loves Gorilla said, did you know that when I was really little, I always wanted to be on the station with me? Hey, that's fun. You know what? I have a lot of fun sharing time with those weather kids out there. And speaking of which, this is a good time to let you know. Before we get neck deep in weather, bring your questions, Nathan. It's always a blessing to have you on board, my friend. I hope you're doing well. Now let's take a look at what was it we were talking about here? Oh my goodness. Did you know that we do have some content that's been shared here? We talked about that. Let's get right to the weather. But first, I have an announcement. Tomorrow, I have a special guest. Wyatt Davis is a storm tracker, the junior version, and I can't wait to introduce you to Wyatt. 4:30 tomorrow on Facebook and also on hutchesweather.com. You can see it. And please drop a comment and give these kids a little bit of kudos for being brave enough to help Hutch with the weather. Watch it through its entirety because these kids have some awesome things to say, and I learn a little bit more myself each and every version of Hutch's Weather. You can sign up, by the way, on hutchesweather.com. Now, let's talk about this fog that we've had. The red you see here, visibility. So we'll be seeing some reduced visibility in some areas as we head into the overnight hours. Notice that orientation here from the Minnesota River Valley straight up into southeastern parts of North Dakota. And that's where the best chance will be at some fog setting up once again. Deborah, again, I appreciate you joining me. And look at this. The model says by the time we go through the overnight on this hump day, we'll have a few showers and thunderstorms out there. And it's never a bad idea to check with the old radar to see if that's actually what's going on. And when I'm looking at it right now, I do see a couple of thunder showers up near the Weyburn area here, Regina and west of Estevan, but not here in Minot. So this model starting out a little suspicious, you might say. But let's see what it's got to say. As you head through the overnight hours and start first thing in the morning, this fog has been nasty pants across the area. 6 a.m. See all the red across the region? This brighter red is lower visibility across the area. So some of us could once again, particularly I believe on the Minnesota side of the river, start with a better chance of fog. Why there? Because south winds increasing the moisture there, number one. Red River Valley is included in that little snippet of area as well. But we also have the calmer wind, which will equate to some, well, better propagation or propensity for the fog to be forming. Now, this model really blows up this precipitation as we go into the morning hours right in the central Dakotas. Let's get into it. Let's zoom in. You can see some communities affected as you go from Minot through Rugby there on the Highway 2 corridor. That's you folks up there north of Harvey. That's going to be moving through Granville and the Rugby area, as well as Willow City, as it works its way off to the east. Now, this is one model's rendition. It may not be this widespread. In fact, I don't think it will be, but there could be some morning showers for central North Dakota. How about the mid-morning hours? Fog dissipates, okay? That means we'll start to see it break out once again, but we still could see some areas of dense fog across Lakes Country as the rain moves into the Devil's Lake Basin 11 a.m. Will these be the severe storms? No. The better chance of those comes in the afternoon. Simon, good to have you on from Duluth, Minnesota. Let's take a peek. There you are. I see you. All right, now back to business over here. And we'll track this system right into your neck of the woods and see if it's going to impact your area, Simon. Now, as we go through the afternoon, it looks like things fall apart here a little bit, but that's when we usually reach peak heating, and I'm waving too, Simon. Good to see you. Now, that peak heating could cause some of these thunderstorms to get a little bit more stout. This model says not so much. They do blow off into central parts of Minnesota with some isolated areas of gusty wind. That'll be the number one threat with these storms, gusty straight line winds. And then heading into the evening hours, what gives for your Thursday night? Scattered showers and storms rumbling through mainly the northern half of the valley as we go through. If you happen to be in Duluth or way up near Regina and heading into Brandon, Manitoba, we do have a few showers and thunderstorms expected there. So hit and miss showers, most abundant, more lingering going on in northwest and north central parts of North Dakota, according to this model. Now, as we head into your Friday morning, those scattered showers will punch through in the morning hours. That means the risk of severe pretty low. But this model really does have some hit and miss showers and thunderstorms. Now, just as a comparison, I do want to share with you that there are other models that show different solutions. Let's go right to this one. This is a brand new one coming in right now. Let's get to the details on this one as we go back to one that will highlight the forecast for the next 24 hours. So here we go. Now, this model shows south winds. That will be an inhibitor and kind of prohibit some of the densest of the fog forming in the central Dakotas. But here's why I think calm winds. We do have the more humidity in the air from the south winds, so better chance in eastern North Dakota and the parts of Minnesota of seeing those. This model does have some first thing in the morning showers and maybe a rumble of thunder near the Minot area. Look where it goes. Drifting through. Here we go. As we head into the midday hour, a couple of trailers start forming, and you see the backwards C shape. There could be some windy midday thunderstorms. Good evening, Linda from Ponsford. It's good to have you on board. Deb, thanks for joining. What's up? That's what you said. I'm just returning the what's up. All right, now let's go. See if this shower and thunderstorm activity travels along the Walsh County area from, well, you folks out there in the good old, well, how about Park River and Grafton area, seeing some scattered showers pushing into Walsh County, and that's it. And this is the high time for severe weather, the evening, and it's pretty much done with strong storms maybe out in the western part of the Dakotas. These will drift late night. Here is the better chance in the overnight hours of some windier thunderstorms with a little bit of a hail with them as we go towards daybreak. So really, I don't know that those morning storms, to me, look like the risk of severe is going to be as high as these storms moving out of Montana. And that's it. Hey, Tracy, it's good to have you on board. Uh-oh, it looks like Grand Forks could get a little bit of an umbrella weather kind of situation going on as we go into your Friday morning. And then it's off and outy here as it works its way through places like Beltrami County for you folks in Bagley, all the way to Bemidji and on towards 10 Strike and out to Grand Rapids, Minnesota, and Ely. Morning Friday showers. And then after that, Friday's storms will be scattered in nature, mainly on the Minnesota side of the river and way out to the west. So now, as Hutch catches his breath, let's see if we have some content to show you about what's going on right now. Here's your Right Now cast as we take a look at the radar and much more to come. And if you have a question, good to have those on board. Let's go ahead and talk about these current conditions. Barbara Ann, thank you for sharing stars with Hutch's weather. It's good to see you. How about 82? What? Where's that? That looks like Miles City, Montana to me. Could be near Forsyth too, but nope, that's Miles City. 81, Glendive 79, Wolf Point, Plentywood, Montana 75. That's where the heat is. Low 70s across the central part of the state, except for you folks in the Minot area enjoying 75 degrees, but it drops off into the 60s. It's super duper comfortable out there, and Hutch is going to tend to a little bit of a campfire outside and going to be bonfire evening tonight after I finish my duties of informing us all about the weather. Now, we'll have 64 now in the Grand Forks area with 57 in Bemidji right now. For you folks in Baudette, it's a 63-degree night. And because you're here, Simon, and I appreciate you, you got 52 for you in Duluth. What a night down in the Twin Cities at 66 degrees, and down in the falls of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, where I do believe there might be some baseball action going on tonight with the Red Hawks. It's 66 and a pretty swell evening there as well. So that's your current conditions. Now I'll look at that radar across the region and I'll show you what I mean. There's some showers and rumbles of thunder as we get up into parts of southern Canada, west of Estevan up there. Nothing going on in Minot, but not out of the question that we could see a little bit of evening activity form here, late evening hour activity, and that could move off into the Devil's Lake Basin by morning, and that's what we got. Anodyne Firma, thank you very much for joining Hutch's Weather here. Where things are interesting is Hutch's old stomping grounds of Billings, Montana. Yep, I was a student at Billings West High School out there back in the day, and they got us a little bit of a strong thunderstorm on the north side of town. So you're looking at up there on the rims right up here, and north of town up there, maybe on the east side of town as well, as you go up toward the old airport. So that's where we have some action going on, a little bit of hail possible. And this little blue box around here is a statement, a special one at that, from the National Weather Service office in Billings, Montana. They said a maximum wind gust of 40 miles per hour and some hail that could be 1/4 of an inch in diameter. Jeff Millard signing in from Colfax. No, not Colfax Avenue in the Denver, Colorado area. I'm assuming that's not right. Probably Colfax, North Dakota. All right. And speaking of coal strip, rather, Hutch went fishing there one time in his young years. But at any rate, strong thunderstorms in Montana. That's where the action is, folks. We have unsettled weather in the Rockies, and it's going to bring an unsettled weather pattern here for the next few days. Who wants to know a little bit more about the extended forecast? If you say I do, I will cover it. Deb says, yo, Hutch Johnson, today is the day that comes. Hutch's Weather Kid, birthday 32 for the big kid. That's right, Deb. Happy birthday to that kid of yours. He's a keeper. Nathan, happy birthday, my friend. Okay, let's talk about this morning. Crazy fog, says Ethan. Indeed, we did have some crazy fog. We talked about a little bit more crazy fog potential in the forecast. Now, let's talk about this extended forecast real quickly because I got you on board. It's kind of fun to talk about that. Let's take a look at the European model here, what you're going to know. Oh, Chris's Electronics Repair Shop says, I do want to see that extended forecast. This unsettled weather that's out to the west of us will bring us a chance at seeing some unsettled weather here. You know what? Hutch is going to change his mind a little bit. We'll look at the European model, but I want the whole blown up USA version. Why? Because I got viewers all over the place from, well, Pennsylvania and other places here. So we'll give everybody a view. Really, H's are good things because Hutch is a good thing, and that starts with H. So H usually means quiet weather, not necessarily hot weather. In this situation, a cold core of air sitting right over Hudson Bay. For us, south winds here and quiet weather, but watch what happens as we put this forecast into spinny dippity-doo motion. So let's get to it. Now, as we fire this baby up, we'll see the nighttime storms on this European model sliding out of the Estevan area where they are. So the European model, even though it started out a little bit earlier, is doing a swell job, I might add, at giving us the fine details we need in the forecast. So there's our little dippity-doo making its way through the region as we go through the overnight and head into the midday hour. Look at it, has it up in the area near Devil's Lake. Scott says an app that shall stay nameless had a 50% or higher chance for rain all next week. I come here for the truth. Scott, I'll give you the truth. 50%. What does that mean? That means 50% of the area around the point in the Fargo area. If you're in Fargo, if you live in Grand Forks, their forecast is for 50% of chance of rain in 50% of the area, but it's only a chance of measurable rain. Now, that's what it means. Do I think that's going to happen for all week? No, I don't. But I do think there's going to be some hit and miss stuff. You got to think 50% of our area is a considerable size of the area. Every day? No, there's going to be breaks in this. And it's pretty clear on multiple models. So I got your truth, and I'll give you my best interpretation of the models. Here we go. Now, This is Thursday night. Do you see how the European model fires things up? This is the evening hours, 7 p.m. So the morning stuff that moves through, not severe. Here's the main event coming through. It's very late. There's 10 o'clock, and it's moving through Minot and points north as you go up near Kenmare, and then it does make its way up into the Walhalla area. Stephen Rocky Singleton says, hello from beautiful Wyoming. Hutch started in his TV career in Cheyenne, Wyoming. You know the TV station call letters there, Stephen. You drop them down here in the comments. Let me know what they are. Ethan says, I feel so bad about what happened today. Our hearts go out to all of those involved in the families and the terrible events today, that's for sure. So thoughtful moment of silence here on Hutch's Weather for all of those impacted. We all are impacted when this happens in our nation. So thanks for those words, Ethan. Okay, back to it. So as we go into Thursday morning, let's go to Friday morning. Those storms will be pushing their way through. So Thursday night stuff into Friday morning will be working their way through. Could be wind, that's Hutch's main threat, and maybe some isolated areas of hail. The hail chances of being greater than 1 inch are not that great with this system, but we could see some up to that. These thunder rumblers on the model from Europe here says that they could be a rumbling their way through as we go into the morning hours here in the valley and into Minnesota, and then they dissipate. Huge area of low pressure here. What does that mean for Friday? So let's take a look at this now. Is it 50% chance of rain? Look at our area here. Is 50% of the area covered with rain chances? No, not on Friday. How about Saturday? Spotty at best, not 50% of the area. As this low pressure system dives south, but it parks here. That's a huge key factor in this. This means through Saturday, we stay on the warm side of this low. That's the area where it's bringing southerly wind up from the south as it is. And on the backside is where the cooler area is. So along the boundary here with the cold air and the warm air, we're going to get some stout thunderstorms Saturday. Then the low starts crawling into the eastern third of North Dakota. Our thunder chances increase a bit as we go into Sunday. Sunday looks like a good day to have a 50% chance of precipitous precipitation, but it doesn't last all day. And looks like it's mainly a Sunday evening event. Then as we head into Monday, what happens? Yeah, I don't think that's 50% of the area, maybe north and east, right? I prefer to give people an idea of even on the 7 day, I'll show you, I'll say best chance north or scattered showers mainly south. That's the idea of trying to clarify a little bit about what that 50% area is and where I feel it's more likely, if that's clear. Okay, so then as we head into Monday night, those storms move up here. See the low pressure way up here? What does that mean for us? There's a little weather wiggle right here moving through. Now you're looking at Tuesday. Does that look like Tuesday brings 50% chance of showers? Just isolated showers at best and thunder. Then as you go in through here on Wednesday, does that look like 50% chance of showers to you? To me? Now, I put more weight in this European model than I do the American model or other models that go out this far, but we will look at another one just to kind of raise the point. Here we've gone through Friday and Saturday. So basically, no. 50% chance of rain every day. I don't see it. And that's sometimes a problem with models. Models are taking a forecast from one computer generated model and spitting numbers at you. When you trust Hutch, I'm then going to look at the models myself and try to breathe a sense of reality into where it's most likely to happen. So that's it. Then as we head into Saturday the 20th, wow, this is as we approach the end of astronomical summer and the beginning of autumn. Yep. Hey, from Arizona, Susie MacDonald, good to have you on board. Severe thunderstorm warning in Cheyenne, Wyoming. Well, we're going to get there. I did see that we have, oh yeah, there's some hail out there. Is that by Scotts Bluff, Nebraska out there, I see? Anyways, there's some hailers out there. You bet. Larry says thank you, and I appreciate you, Larry, for joining. So that's a look at the European model. Now let's go to the non-European model. See what I did there? Now let's go to the American model. Okay, what we're going to do with this one, We're going to do the same thing. We're going to look at the same period. And we're going to look at these chances of rain. So as we go into the weekend, this low pressure system does move out east into the eastern Dakotas, increasing our chance of rain here in the valley on Sunday. That's when temperatures should be falling. Hutch's 7-day does a dip. Other places are going up, but I think that's when we'll have the best chance in Fargo and points east of really starting to see the cool pool work its way in. That does include you in the west as well. As we go into Sunday, did you see 50% coverage of rainfall? No, not so much. Not so much there as we go through Monday morning, I should say. How about Monday afternoon? No. Here's the American model on Monday night late into Tuesday morning, and we get a passing shower at best. Now we got two low pressure systems, double barrel style, setting up shop to the west of us in the big old west. Now, as we put that into motion, Shazam. That looks a little bit stout on the 16th, the evening of the 16th into Wednesday morning. Notice where it fires them up out to the east. So this is the American model saying Tuesday night into Wednesday could bring a strong thunderstorm. And then this low parks right here, and it brings the rain chances east because that's where the cold front will be. So east Minnesota, not 50% of the area. Sean Dunblazer joining. Thank you very much. Hey, I hope you're doing good out there, Sean. Hope business is good. And thank you. I'm going to say to everybody, thanks, Sean, for being a sponsor of HutchesWeather.com. Sean, we'll talk more about your services here in just a second. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. It's good to see you out there. And I'm kind of enjoying the fact that our pattern has been a little quieter. Wednesday, most of the rain, pretty quiet. Thursday, moves off into Minnesota, the arrowhead of Minnesota, and that's it. And then we get this wraparound rain shower activity, which is usually a cold weather event here. That can be kind of a gray, cool day as we go into next Friday, right before the season change, right? So that's a look. Then I ask you, was this helpful? Drop a comment and let me know if it was helpful for you in understanding your 50% chance of rain every day next week. Hutch says, We looked at two models. Neither of them says every day is going to have a 50% chance of rain. I'm going to call BS, bologna sandwich on that one. Bologna sandwich. Stephen, I'm sorry you're sick today. I hope you get feeling better. Larry, thank you very much for watching. And now let's take a look. Now we looked at that forecast. Now let's show you Hutch's version of the 7-day planner. And this goes out through next week as well. Get an idea that we do have the thunderstorm chances. They'll be very late at night before they work their way in with the chance, maybe even more into Friday morning. Friday, we'll have those morning thunderstorms, 1 or 2 thunder showers, and they're outy, and the rest of the day looks warm. So we're in the 80s Thursday, we're in the 80s Friday, we're in the 80s Saturday. Sweltering warmth as that low pressure system to our west brings south air up. Halloween is coming. Boo! That's right, it is. And now as we take a look at next week, Sunday, I've dropped the temperatures because I think we'll have a better chance of rain during the day, and I think that will limit our heating, and therefore I'm going with 77 on Sunday, a little different than what you're seeing in other places. You see a thunderstorm here, a thunderstorm there. I don't put 50% chance every day because this is just 1 or 2 thunder showers, likely in the morning, the rest of the day pretty good. Saturday, late at night, could be a chance of some thunderstorms. I even say late from the west, right? That gives you a little bit more clarity on that. Hey, thank you, Scott. I'm glad this helped. I appreciate you very much for joining me on Hutch's Weather. Say we got football tomorrow. We got football coming up this weekend, and congratulations to you Viking fans. What a game! Woo! Man, I'm still fired up about that. Wow, I can't believe it. It's better to start the season 1-0 than the other way around. So congratulations. Monday, I've got very small chance of some scattered showers. It looks just cooler with some wind. Then Tuesday, I have a passing cloud or shower. That's it. Passing cloud or thunder shower. It doesn't look widespread. So I wouldn't put that at 50. I think that's more isolated. And then as we go into Wednesday and late in the week, it looks like at best scattered showers on Wednesday. Scattered. These are terms that you'll see in forecasts, and to me, they have meaning. Isolated means just a couple of storms here and there. That's not 50% of the area, but isolated in nature. Then as you look at scattered, that's maybe not quite 50% of the area, but getting close. Widespread, you're talking about 50% or more. So I hope that helps with some of the terms that we use in meteorology to describe how many of us have a chance at seeing rain. It is darned near impossible to tell exactly what town is going to get all the rain. It was all the rage back in the day when these computer models started forecasting things like rainfall for specific locations. And it was all the rage to say, we have your backdoor forecast for your yard. Well, that's baloney too. That's a baloney sandwich, because models can't predict where a thunderstorm's going to make the heavier rain. They have not done it consistently, nor can they. So it's better to just say we could see this much rain with isolated areas picking up even more. Let me show you as we talk a little bit about this, and then we'll call it wrapping up, and I better go start that fire if I'm gonna. Here's a look at Cheyenne, Wyoming. Up north of you, you got yourself a big old dust bowl up there near Lusk. So that one there is a windy thunderstorm, and it's working its way off to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. As we take a look at the Guernsey area, there's Kimball, Nebraska, south of Scottsbluff. That's the hailer right there. See those two yellow little dots? Those are hail reports. How about 1 3/4 inch hail reported 5 miles west of Kimball? That was at 8:07, so a little over an hour ago. And then as you sneak down, there's another hail report south of Kimball, and that one is 1 inch diameter hail. So there's been some ice cubes from the sky falling out there in the Cowboy State out there. Looks like we got some showers and thunderstorms heading into the northeast part of the state, not far from Gillette. Now let's take a look at a computer model. And what I'm going to do is I got to load this up real quick. So let's go to modeled radar right now. And then we're going to switch this data over. And instead of showing the future radar, I'm going to have it show me rainfall amounts, because this model here that I'm pulling up is a pretty high resolution model. Let me put none and total precipitation. Here we go. So let me just go ahead and put the total precipitation forecast out for the 52-hour period after we get all of our fun little rain. Now, let's see, where is it? You can do it. I don't see anything there. Let me switch models. Okay, so I'm trying to make a point here. Let's go see if I can find. Well, you got to have precipitation on here. Thank you for your patience. Precipitable water. Huh, that's no good. I don't like that at all. Let's go here. Total precipitation. There it is. Okay, so now let me go out 48 hours. Boom. Okay, now you can see this model's painting a picture. This is a high resolution model, and this is the forecast for 48 hours out. So the time on this would be for the 12th at 7 p.m. As we zoom in here just a little bit, what you're going to notice is that we do have this darker area up here. This model, which is the high resolution rapid refresh, or the HRRR model, has higher rainfall amounts where you see the white. How much is that? Do you see how Hutch could go on here and plot amounts here? Let's see if it'll let me do that. Oh, it's not letting me do that. One moment, por favor. There, let's try it this way. Now let's see if it'll plot it. Yeah, there we go. So back in the day, it was all the rage for us meteorologists on TV to take these fancy pants weather models and say, now we can forecast the rain right down to your backyard. No, this says Rakandu's going to have 3.4 inches, and everybody where it's this dark pink is going to get 3.4 inches. Not highly likely. So keep that in mind. But what I can garner and tell you from this is on the low side, we'll have a few spots out here, like this one says 0.2 of an inch. And for Grand Forks, this says 0.75 of an inch to 0.8 of an inch in Grand Forks. Now this is helpful, but if that little heavy pocket right there that's well over a couple of inches makes its way over Grand Forks, which is totally possible, you could get 2 inches. And then Hutch looks like I should put a bag on my head when I'm doing the forecast. Nope, I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is learn and say that these models do not always get the precise area of the heavy rain. But with the moisture in the atmosphere that we have and with the storms moving through, isolated areas could get 2 or 3 inches of rain, maybe a little more. But there is a very good chance that anybody in this area will have a good shot at 0.2 inches to 1/2 of an inch, with a few areas picking up more, isolated places picking up redonkulous, frog strangling, gully washing weather. And that's how I see it. Hi from Grafton, says Kathy. Hi from Hutch. Tiffany, it's a wonder to have you on. Thank you for all of your uploads of photos, Tiffany. You are a talented photographer. Don't stop taking pictures and sharing them with all of us, because I will speak for myself and many over the months. We appreciate your talent and skills. I'm meteorologist Hutch Johnson. I really do appreciate you. Your comments on my videos help Hutch out. It gets it out to more people, which helps me. If you have a friend and you want to tag them in the broadcast, tag them in the broadcast. That helps Hutch out as well. You can help me out by sharing your stars, which you do. You can also help me out by actually clicking the follow button on my Facebook page. How do you do that? Allow me to show you. So if I was going to go up here, and I'm going to load up a screen here, pardon me. So in real-time broadcasting here, I'm just chatting with you now at the end of this broadcast, and we'll go over a couple of things. We'll go to Hutch's page. So if you search up on your Facebook channel there, Hutch Johnson, Chief Meteorologist. Let me see if I can find this tab over here. There we go. So if you go over to Hutch Johnson, Chief Meteorologist, and let me see if I can find the window capture. Here we go. Let's go with Facebook. Boom. Okay, so here it is. You go search up my page, you'll find this, and up at the top of the page here, if I can scroll up to it, let's go right here and let's go here. Okay, so this is what my page looks like. When you get there, there's an arrow I've put over here, and there's a follow button. If you click the follow button, it helps me out, because that way when I am broadcasting, it will go live. It will let you know that there's a live. They see the little red circle around my name. And anytime you see that on your feed, you know that Hutch is going live. So you'll have more opportunities to see what it is I'm doing. And it adds to my following, which has grown from 30,000 just a couple of years ago when I used to do other employment to now, where we're at 72,000 almost. So thanks to all of you who've clicked on that follow button. For now, I want you to have a wonderful Wednesday. Enjoy your evening very much. I'll be back with an update. Do not forget to check out my Luther Family Forward Hutch's Weather Kid tomorrow, 4:30 on my Facebook channel. You can see it on my YouTube channel or on hutchesweather.com anytime, anywhere. Have a wonderful evening, and thanks for all of your participation in our broadcast tonight.